This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Jamaicans reportedly linked to gang war in Lauderhill, Florida. A Grammy street war, reportedly of Jamaican origins, has erupted on the streets of Lauderhill, Florida, resulting in the deaths of 2 men and the hospitalization of another. According to 7 News in Miami, 2 people were killed in a shootout. Police reported that there was a barrage of bullets in the Blueberry Hill condos off Northwest 56th Avenue near Oakland Park Boulevard just after 9 p.m. on Wednesday. A nearby doorbell camera picked up almost 40 seconds of continuous gunfire. According to the police, when the shootout ended, the 2 men were surrounded by dozens of spent rounds and guns nearby. Witnesses also told investigators a 3rd man took off. The 3rd man is reportedly an associate of a Jamaican artist. He was admitted to hospital with gunshot wounds. The police have not yet confirmed if the person was involved in the shooting. Police have not released the identity of the 2 men who died. Sources confirmed to the news that there has been a street war brewing in Lauderhill between factions from the Walton Park Road and the factions connected to a dancehall artist. Lauderhill police are investigating the shooting. High Command condemns a cop's murder, promises a thorough investigation. The police high command has condemned Thursday night's murder of Corporal Oliver Mullins, who was gunned down in the line of duty on 3rd Street in the Kingston Western Police Division, promising a thorough investigation of the incident. Reports are that at about 10:45 p.m., the corporal was among a team of officers who responded to a call from residents in the area. It is understood that a gunman engaged the cop in an exchange of gunfire, during which both men were fatally shot. The High Command has also expressed their condolences to the family, colleagues, and the friends of the slain corporal. The Jamaica Constabulary Forces Chaplaincy Branch and the Welfare Department will be providing support to the family members, colleagues, and the friends of Mullins. Corporal Mullins is the 2nd lawman to be gunned down in less than a week. On Saturday, 22-year-old Constable Brian Martin was shot dead at a wake on Ricketts Avenue in Kingston 13. 4 other people were shot in the incident. Conman, who impersonated Vaz in motor vehicle scam, pleads guilty. The corporate-era man who was charged with obtaining money by false pretense and a fraudulent conversion, receiving cash above $1 million after he used the name of Portland Western Member of Parliament, Darrell Vaz, to con people out of more than $4 million on Thursday, pleaded guilty in the St. Andrew Parish Court. Sean Latham, a 35-year-old merchandiser of Kingston 19, is to be sentenced on November 18 and was instructed by the judge to ensure he makes a full restitution before then. The court was told that Latham, through phone calls and text messages, told the complainant that he was Vaz and he had connections with an upcoming motor vehicle auction at Kingston Wharf. The complainant reportedly shelled out their money to him for motor vehicles, but later became suspicious and reported the matter to the police. The Kingston West Police Proactive Investigation Unit then staged a sting operation in which Latham was held while he was collecting money from one of the complainants. On the first day of the trial, he turned up and entered a guilty plea on the charge of obtaining money by false pretense, so the other charges against him, the prosecution offered no evidence on those, as he already pleaded guilty on the main charge, said a news source. It was more than one complainant, but some of the people shied away and only some of the people who were scammed were willing to follow it to the end, added the source. Following the guilty plea by Latham, Vaz, who was in court, commended the complainants who saw the case through, as well as the investigating officers. In my more than 30 years of public life, there have been several attempts to smear my name, and I was prepared to see this one through. I was told that based on my statement, I would not be needed in court, but I wanted to see this scammer punished, Vaz told the news. I am determined to defend my good name and my integrity, so I'm glad that the law has caught up with someone who impersonated me and used me to defraud people, added Vaz. Motorist arrested after gun found in car on Old Harbor Road. A motorist was arrested on suspicion of breaches of the Firearms Act following the seizure of a loaded gun in his motor vehicle on Old Harbour Road in St. Catherine on Thursday. Reports are that about 2:30 a.m., the police signaled the driver of the vehicle to stop. The man complied, and during a search of the car, they found the Smith & Wesson pistol with a magazine loaded with 5 rounds of ammunition. The driver's home was subsequently searched by the police, and an additional 2 rounds of ammunition were seized. The motorist has been arrested on suspicion of illegal possession of firearm and ammunition. The man's name cannot be released unless he's been charged. 4 airport employees get a second new date for cocaine trial. 4 employees at the Sanctuary International Airport who allegedly attempted to smuggle 11.4 kilograms of cocaine onto a flight destined for Canada last October had their long-awaited trial put off for a second time to November 16 when they appear in court on Wednesday. Andrew Waite, Brelani Reed, Tavon Murray, and Romaine Kerr were expected to stand the trial before the St. James Parish Court in relation to breaches of the Dangerous Drugs Act after their hearing was previously rescheduled for the initial start date of October 11. However, when the case was called up before presiding Parish Judge Sasha Ashley on Wednesday, the court was told that Kerr's attorney, Charles Sinclair, who was absent due to his participating in parliamentary procedures, had requested a new court date as he needed to take additional instructions from his client. The court was also told that a witness statement, which had been brought for addition to the prosecution's case file, had only recently been submitted to the court's registry. The revelation did not go over well with Murray's lawyer, Michael Hemmings, who argued that the lengthy delay to the trial's start went against the 4 defendants' right to a timely resolution of their case. It is not in me to sit and let this slide, as this is a case of injustice. My friend, the clerk of court does not have the sufficient evidence to bring a case against these persons, and if you do not have a case, why are you holding on to it? Hemmings complained. We do not practice this down here, as we have been waiting 7 months, and I am at a point where I am about to tell my client to find another attorney. Attorney Henry McCurdy, who is representing Waite, was likewise vocal in his disappointment that the case would have been delayed for a second time. I am disappointed, as I told my client they would see the back of this case today. But we will just have to do what we have to do, McCurdy said in a resigned tone. Meanwhile, Judge Ashley acknowledged that the prosecution had previously failed to get its case file ready in a timely manner to start and conclude the trial quickly. What I do not want is for anyone to say that anything was done behind their backs, and I am not into the nonsense. This case has been fraught with broken promises to have everything ready, said Ashley. Waite, Reed, Murray, and Kerr subsequently had their bails extended to November 16, at which time it is expected that the trial will start without any further hindrances. Allegations are that on October 10, 2021, the 4 defendants were servicing a Sunwing flight that was scheduled to depart from the Sanctuary International Airport in Montego Bay to the Toronto Pearson Airport in Canada. They reportedly conspired and placed a bag with 11.4 kilograms of cocaine valued at US $570,000 or Jamaican $88.1 million on board the aircraft. The cocaine was intercepted at the airport in Canada, and 1 person was arrested in relation to the seizure. Following top-level investigations which involved the input of Jamaica's Narcotics Division, the 4 accused persons, who are all of St. James addresses, were arrested and charged. Waite, a 43-year-old security supervisor, is charged with a conspiracy to export ganja, possession of criminal property, and aiding and abetting. Reed, a 23-year-old aviation security officer, is charged with breaching the Civil Aviation Act and a conspiracy to export cocaine. Murray, a 28-year-old ramp attendant, is charged with a conspiracy to export cocaine, while Kerr, a 35-year-old ramp attendant, is charged with possession of, dealing in, and exporting cocaine. Unsuccessful meeting concerning road conditions in St. Mary Central. The police had to be called Thursday evening to remove roadblocks in Baileysville after the premature ending of a meeting with a member of Parliament for St. Mary Central, Dr. Maurice Guy. The meeting was called to discuss the road conditions in the constituency following 2 days of demonstrations. Representatives of the National Works Agency, including the communication manager Stephen Shaw, were also in attendance. It's understood that tempers flared during Mr. Shaw's presentation. There were also constant interruptions as Dr. Guy attempted to update the residents on upcoming plans. This resulted in some residents leaving the meeting and mounting roadblocks preventing the officials from leaving the area. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.